Hey everybody, it's Lori at A Voice in the Dark. Um, wow, what can I say? This has been perhaps the most unusual um uh, president in the history of the United States of America. And I know that it's put us under a lot of stress watching what's happening. And before anybody gets mad at the MAGA uh, lovers, we need to understand some things first. Um, the well educated and the well um, reciprocated, the ones that are retired and have a lot of money, um, don't seem to understand the processes that the poorer people, and this is poor, I'm talking about the middle class, the true middle class, which there's not much left. And what they're seeing is that they have family and children or grandchildren that are not able to make the money that even their parents made, not even one of them. And they can't afford to live on their own. And they're wanting to have a family too, and babies, and you talk about, wanting us to have babies and do this and do that, but you don't realize that it takes a good paycheck. It takes good jobs. And there's no reason not to bring the prices back down to 2016 because they were all false market runs anyway. And everyone knows that. They were taking stuff underground. And but anyway, for the shortages that they were having and whatnot, that was all false. And we've always had more than enough. And but anyway, what I want everyone to know is that most of this is a bullshit show. It's a shit show. It's a clown show. It's a circus. But so is the last administration, and the one before that, and the one before that. This one just got really neurotic. Um, it's all to upset us because we're ascending. It's all to upset us because they have this new world order that they would like to put in place. And yes, a lot of the new world order, I will have to agree, sounds wonderful. But it's also crappy because it doesn't leave any room for everyday people to have a business of their own and to survive and thrive at all. We will be given a certain amount of money every month, and we will be expected to work. They said that women will have full rights and they can work in the fields, and to for food. And then they have different classifications for women, men, and they also want us to live in 15-minute cities. And they're going to tell us where we're going to live according to what they feel we can do. And the products and the simple living that they want to give us is it'll be devastating for Americans. I don't know about the rest of the world, but this is what they're gearing us up for, and this is why all this is happening, and why and why we don't have enough balls in the Senate and the Congress to stand up to this president and tell him, hey, you're way out of line and you're way out of control, and so is Elon Musk. They don't have any power. They never did. They never will. Elon Musk can't even be in the government because he gets too many contracts from the government. There's laws about this that we have in place. So what I'm trying to get to is Um, don't let it upset you. It's too easy right now to get upset if we even look at the news. But sit down and meditate for a couple minutes. Get in the present moment and write down what your heartfelt issues are. Not what you want, what you think they want to hear, or what you think your neighbor wants to hear, or anything, just you. And write an email to your senators and your congressmen and let them know. And put on there, and we the people do not consent to any of this. And this is for people around the world. You have the right to tell the governments here that we do not consent to what they're doing. But you got to stand up and speak. You don't have to stand up and fight. You should never have to fight. But you have a right to speak. And so if you write it in a letter, send it to your congressman, your government, whoever you think needs to get it. But if you put, I do not consent to this, and we the people do not consent to this, that means we do not consent. And they cannot carry on the way they're going on. They have to tell us more thoroughly what they want to do. And then we have to tell them whether or not we like it. Because we have come to an age of truth. They can't hide anything anymore. And I guess they decided that they'd bring Trump and Elon in and, and make this clown show loud to really get our attention and really upset all of us. And I know that there's a lot of MAGA out there that are upset because he has made some dubious changes that are not even in his control to make. And we can see the mistakes that are being made and how it affects the people to a great degree. Yes, changes need to be made, but not the way they're being made, and not how they're being made with the people that they're being made with. Just don't let it bother you, but do your part. I'm telling you now that I don't care how spiritual you... Jesus isn't coming back and saving the day. I'm going to tell you that now. He's not going to come out of the clouds, and he's not going to save the day. He is supposed to, his consciousness, rise up through you, in each of us. And we have a right to speak. We have a right to know our own magic, our own power. That's what he came to teach us. He didn't want to be worshipped at all. It's a fallacy. That's something the church made up. He came to tell you that you are identical to him. We're brothers and sisters. We all have the same Father on high and Mother on high. And that's the other thing. They took the goddess out of the books. Well, the goddess is very real. And she's actually God. She's the first God. She's the first creator. And then she split herself up so she'd have a male and female. And then she explored the universe that way, where they could have lots of children and send them out as pieces of them. And we are them. So at least get enough balls to understand that you are all equal to Jesus inside. And that you have a right to use your voice nicely, but write a letter. And if enough of you do it, we can stop this cascade of crap until their big thing is if they keep us upset and negative and da-da-da-da-da, that they win. And they get to keep us here, trap us here. They're trying to absorb our souls, our spark of consciousness, which is not available for them to steal in the first fucking place. But, and I know how crazy it sounds, but it's true. It's very true. And sad as that is. And if enough of us can hold on to love and do everything we do through our hearts. If you want to save this country, which I do, because I think that democracy is what works as long as we keep regulations and we don't veer off our Constitution, except for the amendments that we made, those first 5, because those were important. You know, it let slaves vote. It let women vote. So what I'm saying is somehow 50 years ago we were infiltrated by the elite. They are a separate group to the rest of the humanity on the planet. They are the leaders. They are the leaders of the world. There's 12 families now that are responsible for everything that goes on in the world. And that's the wars. That's everything. It's all petty bullshit that they create to keep us down, so that we would never remember who the hell we are. And we are the most beautiful beings in the universe. Are we perfect? No. God didn't expect us to be perfect down here. It is so heavy here that it's hard to even remember who the hell we are. You really got to work at it. And it's too easy to get caught up in the matrix. It's too easy to get caught up in the negativity. But we are the strongest beings in the universe, so let me tell you something. You can and you will hold on to love. Everything you do it with love. Even these letters. Write them out. Write out what your concerns are and send them to your local government. Send them to your local government, send them to your state government, and send them to your Senate and congressmen. And I send it to both parties, Democrat and Republican, because they both work for us. I want to save this country, and I want to save democracy because I believe in it. I believe in the greater good of all. And I believe most of us do. It's just that, about 30 years ago, they started sneaking in all kinds of things after they busted up our media and made it a conglomerate so they could control the messages. And it went from there. Started giving our work out to other countries and started sending our work out to other countries. And it's just been a cascade down. That's why our homelessness is so big. It just keeps getting bigger every year because there's less jobs. And as the middle class starts dropping down, the upper middle class starts getting a feel of what the hell's going on, and it's hurting them. And I don't know who in the hell they think is going to support the world, because we did most of it. The middle class. We supported the poor. We supported the wealthy because they get all them write-offs and don't pay any taxes and think that they're above doing that, and they're not. Matter of fact, I like how Trump said something about, well, we don't need your well, actually we do, because most of our product for everything, our food, our electronics, our everything comes from overseas. Because of all these big trade deals they made. They've been preparing us for this big world order thing for a long time. The problem is they aren't going to bring up other countries to the level of the United States. They're going to try to drop the United States down to a level that's just above third world by splitting the country up in 7 pieces. And 7 different separate countries, kind of like Europe. And anyway, at this point, it doesn't matter how knowledgeable you are on all of this. What's important is to hold love and good deeds. And for all of us to ascend, we only have to be happy and in a higher vibration, which is usually happy and joy and love, 51% of the day. So focus on that, and that's it. Screw the news, screw everything else, and go ahead and write those emails to everyone. It's our country. Our forefathers worked for this shit too. They worked hard, and they worked hard at getting these laws passed to get rid of child labor, to get health safety things taken care of in these factories and crap, and to give blacks and slaves their voting rights, blacks their voting rights, and women their voting rights. These things are not little things. They are big. They're huge. And for a woman to have the right to say what she wants to do with her body. Because 9 times out of 10, the man, first thing out of his mouth is, I guess, an abortion's out of the question. You know, when you tell him you're pregnant. Let's just stick with facts. Can we just stick with facts? Forget religion. Forget goopy crap. Not that religion is. I believe in God. Source. The highest on high. Not the one they talk about and the one that everybody's getting information from right now, because the Anunnaki, they're back in the system. And anyway, we're not, this whole planet has been set up to talk to a lesser God, not our God. Jesus didn't come from here. He came from way up there, where we're from. So, open up to the strength that's in your heart, if for no other reason than to hold joy and love in a high vibration for more than 51% of the day. The other part, that can be, you're going to have mishaps, you're going to have upsets. Try to stay off the boob tube and YouTubes. Even I'm having trouble with it. But I am trying to get a handle on my emotions so that I don't allow it to disturb me anymore. But I am passionate about this and this country and the world. And this is good for the people of the world, because we are all light beings. We are beautiful, golden light beings from a higher dimension that just forgot who we were. And they like using our energy because it makes them live longer and healthier and happier and makes them a little luckier. And it makes us really tired. So, focus on love, because that's where we need to be. And God be with us all. Lori out. Talk to you later.